Welcome back again, and thank you for staying tuned. I'm being joined by one of your favorite analysts. Of course, he's not new to your screen. He is Richard Oriri, who is a public affairs analyst, PhD. It's a very beautiful morning, and I think that is Friday. Thank you for joining me in the studio this morning.
It's my pleasure.
And this one, you're looking this Friday. It does look like you have 101, but should I can tag along with you. I love wherever they're sharing food.
Okay.
Yes.
Once we are done from here,
well, thank you so much indeed for coming.
It's my pleasure.
Well, there are so many interesting headlines that made it to our national dealings this morning. But first of all, what do you make out of the report from the NBS regarding the inflation rate, which has dropped to 23.71%?
The inflation rate, dropping of inflation rate, I think that would be, I think that would be a kind of a paperwork. Because on the street of Nigeria and even in the market, I don't see inflation dropping. I have not seen, sincerely. And every day you see prices of goods skyrocketing.
Exactly. And you wonder, where did the NBS get their report from?
So that report, I think, is 40. The other day, yes, it's 40. The other day I gave my wife 30,000 naira to go and get something for soup. Just about 4 days ago, she came back with one small lady, one small polythene, says, okay, Daddy, see your 30,000.
Indeed.
You understand? So
did it shock you?
How will I be shocked? Because I was even scared giving her that money, that amount of money, because in my mind I know quite well it was not going to be enough. Because even the ice fish before that, they used to buy for like 500, 600. Now ice fish, just one system of ice fish is around 3,800, almost 4,000 naira. How many people can afford it? A lot of things. Rice has not dropped. The price of rice has not dropped up till now. Even yam, with tuber of yam, rice is about 6,000 naira. It has not dropped. So you now wonder, where did NBS get their report for me from? When I saw it, I sincerely I fought it. I argued it. You argued it, yes, right? That report, the research done in that aspect is not right. Because this question still on Nigerian limbs, you said for inflation to have dropped to 23.71%. Price of fuel has not dropped. It was only Dangote that has at least reduced the price of fuel a little, and that doesn't mean that the marketers have equally reduced their own. Exactly. So they are making profit out of the price slash by Dangote, and on their own they have not equally reduced their own price. If price of petrol has not dropped, where would the marketers reduce the price of their goods in the market? Okay. Yeah, because they use transport to get to the market, to the rural areas, to get these things. And once you get it, you add transportation to it, you add feeding to it, you add many things to it. As a result, the price of everything in the market will go up. And that is where I said the report of this NBC is 40. Well, indeed, thank you for your opinion. And now let's move straight to, because other times you hear Nigerians yelling for, we want, give us someone who voted for. Now, I think this bill in the National Assembly, the House of Rep precisely, which is seeking for 6 months imprisonment and 100,000 naira fine on non-voting citizens, for citizens who are eligible to vote but has refused to vote or did not vote. 6 months imprisonment and 100,000 naira fine. What did you make out of it? I laughed when I read it. Is it laughable? Yes, it's laughable. It's laughable. How is it laughable? It's laughable because they know the root cause of voter apathy. Okay, what is the root cause? The root cause is when there is no governance. And as it is now, no governance. If there is no governance, the electorate will feel disenchanted. And if there is almost every time that they carry out election processes in Nigeria is 40, and if election processes is 40, there's no how the voters, the electorate, will make profit out of their vote. If your vote doesn't count, what's the essence of you stressing yourself to go and queue up to cast your vote? Till today, they are still talking about electoral reform in Nigeria, and year in, year out, you see it coming up in another dimension. Now, if there is no development, if you look at development indices in the country, if you look at development agencies in the country, instead of them saying that they will make voting is a right, so it's a right, it's a constitutional right of every citizen. But there are too many other rights of the citizen that are being trampled upon as well.
Okay.
If instead of going by saying that if you are up to a voting age and you refuse to vote, you go for 6 months in prison. They should make it compulsory for non-performing leaders to be jailed for at least 10 years. If you are a leader, a representative of the people, after giving you their vote, after giving you their right, their constitutional right, under that social contract, and you fail, you should be jailed for it. Because it's glaring everywhere now. Our representatives, the representative that we have, majority of them, 80% of them, they are not performing. There are communities you go to, I can say completely now, basic education is zero. Basic education, and any nation that does not look towards educating the citizens, you have no future. Basic education, primary school, go to various communities in Nigeria today. I have carried out my statistics right from my own community to my local government, my senatorial district, even my federal constituency district zone. I have carried out my own research on it, and it shows that majority, 80% of public schools, especially primary, secondary schools, they are not functioning now. They are not functioning. It's only private schools. In some communities where you will even see primary school now, is the ones provided by churches. That is private by churches. The public schools are zero. Nothing. If you go to the public schools, you will not even see teachers.
So what would actually,
like in the entire my community entirely, we don't have up to 5 teachers, and we have 20 polling units. A district in the entire local government will have 10 wards, and there's no school you will go to that you will see more than 1 teacher for a whole primary school. And this teacher at times they will just come to show face that they have come, and they will leave, because and that is why presently now in our rural communities, the security situation in most communities now, they are internal. Because these children that don't go to school, their parents don't have the means to send them to other areas where they will acquire at least basic education. Even in the urban areas now, if you don't send your children to private schools, private primary schools, they will not get better quality education. And for that reason, those of them that don't have the means of sending their children to other areas to acquire this basic education, those of them at the rural area, the villages, the best thing they do now is to join court.
And that's where it starts. Actually.
Yes, they join court, and that court give them ways, the means of acquiring arms and other things, and they indulge in doing nonsenses. You understand? In some villages, you see children in the communities, they are no school, no thing, no job, and nothing, and their parents are poor. What they do next is to go and get goat, and they will kill goat that is not your own. You kill, you cook and eat and do whatever they're stealing everywhere. So what the legislators are proposing, I think is upside down. Because it's upside down. It's upside down. Before you say you want to deal with voter apathy, first of all, deal with developmental indices. Those who are in leadership position, are they giving the people what they are supposed to give to the people? That is governance. Governance is zero. In most areas, there's no governance. You can't be sick and you go to a hospital nearby. In some communities, no community health centers function basically now. No community health centers. That is the responsibility of local government.
Function at all.
Responsibility of local government. No community functions. And in some communities, the responsibility of local government to even provide local markets for local people to see where they will go and sell their peppers, sell their onions, to sell their tomatoes, to get means for the economy of the local community to boom. There's no, some communities create, they on their own come together to set up market by themselves. There's one going on. There's one going on now in my local government. The local government chairman that have been sacked by election petition tribunal, he went to one community called Undabasi, where the community came together to set up this market. Now he said he wants to be collecting revenue from a market that you contribute nothing to. The community, they are not resisting that local government should not come and take over the market. But what they are requesting is that the chairman should at least come and give them, even if it is public toilet, so that market users will be making use of the toilet. And that will reduce open defecation.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yes.
Even water. There's no single water within the whole community, within the whole within the market environment. No water. Come and provide water. Or you come and even at least give us one shop. Nothing in the market that you will say that this is local government presence. And they said you want to take over the market and just to be collecting revenue that you will not give it back to the people. The revenue is collecting from federation and location is not enough for him to provide governance. The one that the community out of self-help they are doing is what he is interested in. Now in Makurdi, he took about 10 people from the community for resisting him not to collect revenue. They are in cell in Makurdi now. About 7 they are in cell in his own local government now.
But then if a law, I just remembered, if a law, like you said earlier, there should be a law, you know, to
punish any leader that is not giving governance.
The incompetent leaders, let me use that.
Yes, ineptitude.
But then, in a country like this, do you think that will even see the life of the day?
That is why I said they should drop this their bogus proposal, because this proposal is anti-people. To say electorate who choose on his own or her own, say, since my vote doesn't count, I will not waste my time to go and cast my vote.
You say
right. You will go.
Is it right?
It's not right, but what is the cause?
But I think in out of many wrongs, we should start with one right. And
there are too many things. There are too many things wrong in the system. Too many things wrong in the system. They should find a way to correcting those wrongs. Then this other side will be corrected.
And we have to start from somewhere.
Starting from somewhere, yes. Starting from somewhere is right. That is why I say leaders who are in fact, willfully. They are not giving governance willfully. They know it that this thing is supposed to be done. They know that rural roads should be for the people.
Okay.
They know that water, at least water, water should be there for the people to see water and drink. They know that at least paracetamol should be in the local hospital.
Center.
Yes. Even first aid treatment, you can't find it in any local health center. So when they see that all of this is not working, that is why eclipse of democracy is everywhere.
Right, give me a moment, Mr. Rushado. Hello, viewers. At this point, our phone lines are now open for you to call in to join the conversation. Well, I want to add up to what you've said. We are trying to correct so many wrongs. We know that there are so many wrongs in our Nigeria system, especially in governance. So we're trying to. But then, don't you think, in my own, I'm just saying, in my own opinion, this is it. Don't you think? Okay, for example, this administration where we voted, or some persons voted incompetent people into the system. Don't you think it's the same vote that will vote them out? Because to me,
people you say they voted incompetent voters,
displaced priorities. Fantastic, but then it is only the votes of the people that can, vote the incompetent out and vote the good ones in.
They have seen that even their vote is not even giving them the people that they are voting. You understand? That is to tell you that the voters are saying that their vote doesn't count. That is not the right people that cast their vote for that they are announcing. That is the lapses from the electoral process.
So should we stop?
You understand? See, the leaders should correct those lapses to give confidence and trust on the side of the voters. Now is the responsibility of every citizen to respect their country, to give the highest you have to your country, to your nation. Then your nation will give back to you. Now, many citizens, they are not even seeing the country as their own. They are not seeing the country as a country that they should even give back anything to. And that is why you see most citizens jumping out of the country, dying in the high sea, everywhere. The other day, VDM very dark man.
Yeah.
And peace man. Peace Enyama.
Yes.
They brought back so many Nigerians who were
girls.
Yes, who were market
transporters,
who were taken out of the country, kind of whether prostitution or some of those things.
Yes,
you brought them back. Yes. What is pushing Nigerians away from the country? It's bad governance. That is pushing them away. No employment. Insecurity we are having today is as a result of poverty. And
I feel like those things can only be corrected if Nigerians vote in.
If Nigerians vote in but first they have to correct the electoral process. The electoral process are 40. They said you must use a electronic system. The electronic system at the end, NIC will not even make use of the record in the electronic machine. They will go manual.
Yes, but the citizens should do their own part by voting.
Voting is the constitutional right of every citizen who is up to 18 years of age.
Of course.
Voting is a constitutional right. I said there are too many other constitutional provisions that the leaders are not even respecting. The constitution is I always go against anybody saying Nigerian constitution should be amended. Nigeria have the best constitution.
Exactly. The
issue we are having is the willpower to go by the constitution and respect the constitution.
Exactly.
You will see leaders not respecting order of a court in a democratic state. Court will give order, give ruling. But leaders will not respect it. Are they not supposed to be jailed? To be jailed. That is how do they even call that in law? It's bad. There are too many things that they have to check inwardly. They have to check themselves before they go to any law that is anti-people. It's not right. Like now, Nigerians are clamoring and still agitating that this social media law should be revisited because it's a kind of suppressing the voice of the people. It's a kind of suppressing them. There are things you don't say again. If you say it, they will clap down on you. Based using social media
community guideline. I think it's called community guideline.
No, they call it cyber crime, cyber something law. You understand? The cyber law now is shrinking information from the people, shrinking so much information. There are things that ordinarily you should say now that if you say in cyber crime law, will hold you responsible and you can be jailed for it. So a lot of things going on that are undemocratic in the society, in our country. So it's no issue of if you are up to the age of 18 years and you refuse to cast your vote, you should be jailed for 6 years. That is to say, they have
I think there's what you're saying. Okay, what happens to the leaders who have been unable to perform, the incompetent leaders, both the ones in office and the ones after office? What happens to them? I think there should be a provision.
The voters, the masses will be motivated to vote when they see dividends coming out of their effort.
Exactly.
But presently, there's not much dividends coming out of their effort. You vote, somebody will be in power, and you will be sleeping in your house. Someone will come, take your mother away, rape your mother, or slaughter your mother in your presence. No security for you from the vote that you've casted. You will vote, and you will go out to stagnant water behind your house to fish and drink. The same people you vote for cannot give you water, clean water to drink.
It's pathetic anyway.
You understand? You vote, you don't have electricity to power even your phone to communicate to your children outside your village. But there are some leaders who are budgeting 10 billion naira for solar light. And you can't give that same solar light to the rural communities. Nigeria have just 774 local government areas. And these 774 local government area can comfortably be powered by solar light by the government of this country. with less than 5 trillion naira out of the 54.9 trillion budgeted this year 2025, with less than 5 trillion, the whole 774 local government in Nigeria will be given solar light that will power the entire villages in Nigeria.
Talking about budget, the budget itself is not even the problem. It's the implementation, because we saw what the reports recently said about the performance of the 2024 budget, which did not even perform up to 50%, and it's very poor. Aside the
25%, which is very low. That is a vote of no confidence.
Exactly, and you're wondering, so the budget, what is going on with it? What is the setback behind the implementation of the budget? Because year in, year out, we see this bogus amount of budget, and at the end of the day, we can, like you said, the education sector is not functioning. We can't even focus on security. Health sector. My nurse was telling me recently when I went for medication that as big as FMC, they are short of staff. As big as it is, as mighty as FMC is. In fact, there have been cases where lives are lost because of lack of staff. People have lost their life, and you're wondering, you see billions of thousands of billions of naira being budgeted to these sectors, but there is no implementation. That is where we have the problem. Is implementation of budget that is the problem in this country.
You see, Gwarimpa is one of the largest estates in the whole of West Africa.
Exactly.
The entire Gwarimpa has just one police station.
As big as it is.
Yes, and this police station have no station of their own.
And that's bad.
The building the police station they are using presently is owned by an individual who donated it. There was a day one of my friends, I called him, he said he was there, and I went to meet him there. When I saw the situation, I was complaining. The seats, the chairs, and all those things, even found all those everywhere, just looking like one village house. When I opened my mouth, one police officer said, "My brother, it's what you see that you use." But this entire community, the entire building here is owned by an individual who donated. If the police force cannot provide them building, is it chairs that they will give to them? Most of these they use here. Okay, if you even pointed one of their vehicles, as you see, the tire is down. If there's emergency, how would that go?
Exactly.
You understand? So
we keep talking about.
And if you even check the number of police officers in the Gwarimpa police station, they are too small to police the entire Gwarimpa. So the security situation is not something we even talk about. But I thank God with what the president have announced some days ago, that is going to recruit Nigerians to guard our forest.
And also, I was going to
ask, forest guards policy is the best.
Talking about guiding our forests, but what about borders? Because as at last year or late last year, the report when this LACRA was newly started operating. So a report has it that these people, this new group of terrorists came in from neighboring countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and the rest of it. So you now asked how porous, because if they can penetrate from the border, what happens to the security in our borders? Is there security at all? Because if there were, or if there is, they should have been properly checked.
Do you think they are not using
how porous is the borders?
These criminals infiltrating into our country, they are not using the main borders.
So where do they use exactly?
They use, because the northern, especially the northern zone, there is none of our boundary within the other countries in the north that is fenced.
Because 1 minute we thought we are getting over this insecurity, and the next minute it's worse.
I keep saying it until we come up with a strong policy that will make our borders to be fenced.
Exactly.
Especially in the northern part. If we can fence our borders within the north, we will have proper checks of influx of criminals coming into the country
and move out of the country, because it's very, very important. If not, we'll keep at this morning
up to 20-25% of the people in the far north, the people you see in the far north, they are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians. They enter into the country illegally, and no means of checking them.
Exactly, that's the point. So they feel they can infiltrate.
It's easy because They speak almost the same language with those that live within with the citizens, the Nigerians that live within that borderline. They speak Hausa, they speak Fulani, they speak almost every language within that zone. So the mixture. Once you see somebody speaking the same dialect with your brother who is a citizen,
you must feel comfortable.
You will just see the person as a citizen.
Exactly, not knowing that the person
is a non-citizen. If you ask them, some of them in Abuja here, if you ask them, some of the shoemakers, the people that even forming security for some residents in Abuja here, if you ask them, terrible question. I engaged about two the other day in Guadimpa. Which state are you from? He paused for some time before he mentioned one state, and as he mentioned this, I wish his local government. Exactly. He could not even mention his local government. I forced him until he mentioned. He said it's from Niger.
Imagine.
You get it? Say it's from Niger. Once you ask them, they will give you frivolous answer. And see, the issue here is big. They should give us governance, not about forcing Nigeria.
Good governance.
They should. That's the area I'm.
Because they say they are governing the country. Of course,
they should give us good governance. I align myself with you. They should give us good governance.
Nigeria needs good governance.
Proper governance.
Well, it is well, and let's use the Christian slogan. It is well, but
it's not well.
Even though it's not well,
but it's well.
Even though it's not well, but it is well.
It is well
because what Nigeria needs is good governance. I keep saying it. Nigeria has everything. Most countries doesn't even have. Nigeria have everything it takes to thrive. Nigeria is blessed with natural resources. So. I don't want to believe I'm not one of these people who will tell you pray for Nigeria, because Nigeria does not need prayer. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Nigeria. It's just leadership.
We have a lot of resources. God bless this country with a lot of resources, both human and material.
Well, it is well. Like we said, let's leave it there and move to other headlines. I am particular about this one because first thing, when they say a hungry man is an angry man, so you see how food, which is the basic need for a human to survive, and according to report, it is said that food inflation hits 51.8% in Benue amid persistent insecurity. OPS lament rising prices, and of course you're from Benue, so it is very fantastic. Now, what should we even expect? We are already clamoring that a lot is going on in Nigeria. There is insecurity, there is hunger, and now there is still the food inflation is set to hit 51.8%, which is of course a high increase in food inflation. When people, I'm wondering what will become of Nigeria when people can no longer afford food to eat.
Yes,
we're already saying the rate of crime is high. Everything is high. So what will become of Nigeria when people, no longer have food to eat, and they'll just have to use every possible means to eat, whether good, bad, illegal, legal, and everything?
You just stay in your house quietly and silently until you die. Many Nigerians are dying silently of hunger today. Most of the people dying in the rural communities now, they are dying of hunger. Sometimes, if you take them to the hospital, even go to hospital is a problem because you don't have the means, you don't have the money. And if they take, most people that the other day, somebody went to hospital. And
this possibly will increase the rate of crime in Nigeria, because we're already saying the
crime rate has already gone up high. We have a booming population. A majority of the Nigerian population is youth. That most countries, civilized countries of the world, they utilize this. Exactly. They utilize this stage of population boom. China made use of it when it booms in China, and that is why they are where they are today. India as well made use of it. India today, I think India is the most populated. Is India and China. Please give me a moment. Between India and China.
We have Mazi Okarafa from Arochukwu. Mazi Okarafa, it's good to have you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mazi Okarafa. I thank God for today. Now, when you are talking about state of education, state of the nation, and you are taking weight of about the food on the table. But if you are talking other variables, we should look into it. Like that of education. Okay. Now look at the situation whereby 2-point-something candidates will write the exam. Only less than 300,000 or 350 will be given admission. Does it make sense? happened to our infrastructural facilities? What are we supposed to do? Nobody cares about it. And after this soup was done by 2026 now, the number maybe may increase by 500, getting to 2.5 every year. Look, we have to go back to the basics. Okay. We are now on the era of microwaves. In Angola, we are entering a microwave system, the digital system now. Let us make our infrastructure facilities to balance well with the system. Okay. That is the only solution. And you see people talking about food. Food is not the final bus stop. What are the variables? How to get this food? What are the things that we should do to make this food be on the table? Okay. We chase symptoms instead of chasing the causes. Good morning,
things that will make the food to be on the table.
Your contribution, exactly.
Things that will make the food to be on the table. One, security. Security will allow, if you have good security, the
farmers to farm.
Farmers will go to their farm to produce. But now the nation cannot even produce to feed the nation. It's a problem.
The food basket of the nation, your state, which is the food basket of the nation.
Yes, like Benue State, the food basket, like that report now of how many percent he said?
51.8% food inflation.
Food inflation, that is projection.
Yes.
And from Benue State. Presently now, what he's saying now should be after this year. Next year, the food inflation in Benue can rise because of this high level of insecurity now going on in Benue that farmers can't go and farm. Some people who are managing to even go to their farm to make 1 or 2 heaps and make and plant seed. If you are in your farm, somebody will come and slaughter you. So many others now, they are afraid to even enter their farm. So food inflation will come up next year after now. But the one of that last year is what we are managing now. The one of last year is what we are managing now. But that to say food inflation in Benue has gone up to this percentage now, I fought it. It's not right. It's not true. But what we should be saying now is, if the insecurity in Benue is not checked now, next year it will affect Benue and it will affect the whole country, because Benue provide food for the entire country.
Exactly.
Most people in the eastern part, like rivers, they come to Benue to buy gari, buy yam, buy many things, oranges and others. Too many fruits and many things in Benue State. Benue State is the food basket of the nation. But as it is now, because of the insecurity going on, next year, what we are seeing this year will double next year.
Exactly. I used to say
government doesn't come in
to good morning,
check
and glad
what is
to
going
have
on.
you join us on the program. Where are you calling us from, and what's your name?
Good morning. My name is Melafia. I'm calling from Nasarawa State.
Melafia from Nasarawa State. Please go ahead.
I actually want to talk about the compulsory voting.
Okay.
The House of Assembly are passing the bill that we must compulsory vote, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's quite unfortunate, and I want to ask this question: why compulsory? Have they really passed the bill that they want to say they should pass the bill? Let there be compulsory death sentence for corrupt politicians.
Well,
death sentence, yes, for corrupt politicians. I align myself with him.
Okay, I'm listening.
Death sentence for corrupt politicians.
Why must it be must compulsorily vote? See, if our vote, if the common man vote will be count,
okay,
we don't need to ask somebody to come out and vote. You definitely come out and vote because they know who they are voting. They know the antecedent of whom they are voting.
All right.
My friend, if you go around now, where you see you gathered, whatever zone or whatever part of the country, when you go there and see where youth are gathered or people are gathered, you see them giving the analysis that will have solution of this country.
Okay.
So does that show that you must force people to vote?
No.
That to tell you that people who have already have orientation already on whom they want to vote.
Of course.
But our vote can not count. They will only bring they have vote for that reason. Whoever is there is their own that is listening to them and abide to what is happening, what they said.
Okay.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful day. Death sentence for
for politicians who are corrupt.
That's what you say. So why the National Assembly is bringing up a proposal for imprisonment, someone else is suggesting for death sentence for corrupt politicians. Well, at this point, I don't know.
Yes, there is such bill in the House there that they have refused to pass. Death sentence, like in China, in other countries of the world. If you are corrupt, if you are found to be corrupt while leading the people, while managing public resources, the sentence is death. And that one is making deterring many leaders not to delve into corrupt practice.
Exactly. So even if they delve, even if while they are in government, they will be forced. They will know that there will be caution. Like there's something cautioning them that there is.
If I do this will happen to me.
Exactly.
But as it is now, there is no empirical evidence to show that people who are corrupt in the past they have been even jailed.
See the light of the day in Nigeria. It is well according to us, the Christians. Good morning and glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Good morning. My name is Emmanuel from Lagos State.
A very beautiful morning, Emmanuel. Please go ahead.
I'm hearing what you are saying. I thank God for my brother in the studio. God will bless you. God will bless you so much. What you are saying.
Mr. Emmanuel, could you tune down the volume of your TV set so you could hear you properly?
Voice.
What I'm hearing is okay now.
I tune down the volume of your TV set so we could hear you from there.
Yes, it's okay now.
Alright, please go ahead. It's fair.
So I thank God for my brother for the school and there because what he said, I'm hearing what he's saying concerning the school and all the rest of them. But I wanted to ask, what this voting system, is it the same man, this Yakubu or whatever they call his name? Is it the person, the chairman again?
Yes, he's still the chairman.
So how can you get a good result if the man is there? Because cannot get any good result if man is there.
Are you sure if you put another person, the man
is even coming?
Because what I'm saying is that the one he did was he put us in this mess, and he stayed there to continue messing up because the man cannot see any good things in this very man at all. Let's change the man who can able to get hope. Moreover, some people who I'm staying with, apparently when I call them to go and vote, they say, they cannot go and vote because my vote is not counting. It's for people. Because of 1,000 naira or Indoni, you just give them because of this around area. They cannot able to avoid one naira because of hunger and the rest of them. You just give them 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, put hand here, they will put hand. But I really thank God about this time around because the enough people are just, their eyes are open now, that they're seeing it clearly right now. Some people are suffering right now, seeing what they did themselves because they're one putting us in this mess. And another thing I want you to say concerning the security. You know, for our place, from the email I'm from, if somebody come to my town, it's very easy to know for the compound he's coming from. Who is this man? Who is this man? From this place now, from this northern area, if somebody is just hitting head for ground as a Muslim, their brothers, their sisters, whatever he's doing, that doesn't care. But our own area, if something do something, we must find out and bring that person out. My brother will leave this time for us, and we are having a problem. So how can we just, and moreover, also
you have to run up with your thoughts to invite others join the conversation in Manuel.
Can you bring somebody else, one person out for all those Fulanis, that this person is the person who catch all the whole things they are doing. We never see any one person executed that this person is one. If you can bring them out and torture them, this thing will stop. But if you just come and just carry them and give to the police to do other people, this is what I do. That's all my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful weekend ahead. I was going to ask, he made mention of something, and now this will take us back a bit to the security issue. What role do you think traditional rulers can even, because yes, we understand that the government have their own role to play, but now when it comes to your own community, my community, I can dictate, I know my community better than I know yours. So what role do you think traditional rulers can play? Because security is everybody's business, you understand? It is your own duty to make sure that you stay out of trouble, to properly guide yourself wherever you're going to. So what role do you think traditional rulers can play when it comes to insecurity?
traditional rulers play very vital role in the past.
As much as I thought.
Yes. When there was a communal living in every community in this country, the community, they have better governing system. That if a stranger enter any community, within 5 seconds, they are already aware of a stranger, that a stranger is in our midst. Okay. And in such a situation, you that the stranger have entered your house, the first thing you do the moment the stranger comes, you take the stranger. If you are the one that invites the person to, you take the stranger to the district head, to the community head. To introduce the stranger to the community head. This person have come to my house to do so and so. Okay. He will finish so day and he will leave.
He's expected to leave so
the entire day. Even if you don't go and report, they know. Okay. No, if criminal enter, they know. Even among them, those who are criminals, those who sleep with people's wife, they know them. And they banish such people. Yes.
Where did that come from?
Yes, now it's happening in communities. Those who have that habit of doing such evil, they are known in every community. Okay. And that was when community leaders have respect of the people.
All right.
That was when community leaders are appointed by the people. From the people. But now, the politics has
everything has been politicized, yes.
Most community leaders today don't have grip of their community. They don't have respect of the people. So they have no such power again to suppressing anybody. That is why you see things happening anyhow in some communities. When the entire community, because every community have kingmakers. Because in every kindred, you have who is the leader of that kindred. And so all the number of kindred within the community, the leaders come together and they are the one that form the cabinet within the community, with the community head. And those cabinet members, they are the ones who select who lead them in the event that their leader, the district head or ward head dies. So now, instead of allowing these kingmakers to select
their own
to select the rightful person that will be respected by the people.
They are being politicized.
Politicians will come because the traditional rulers, they are under perpetual slave of either the local government chairman. Local government chairman have power to suspend you if you are not playing their bid. The governor have the right to so appoint whoever he wants to be the district head or the ward lead head and all of that. The moment this politics issue set into traditional rural selection, that was where everything scattered, and that was when the insecurity within our communities started, and that's when there was total absence of love again among the people. That was when you see communal living vanishes from our communities. Before now, you can walk if you want to cook food as a woman, and you eventually discover you don't have yam again in your house. You will run to your neighbor and take the yam from his or her house, and you cook. The next day you go to the farm and you bring yam home, you replace it. Even salt, all those. But today nobody do that. In those days when we were growing up, in the field where we play ball, if you are thirsty to drink water, the next house you see, you will even run from the field and rush outside, enter into the person's house, and you drink water and run back to the field. But today you can't just run to no communal living again in our time now, and that is why insecurity is so high. Traditional rulers, they are helpless today now in Nigeria. They have no single power within the constitution that can make them to hold grip of their communities.
Wow.
Politics has destroyed everything until they allow communities to have total control of only them, to choose who become their leaders. That is when you will see some of these things going down gradually, and you will see insecurity vanishing from our communities. But as it is now, we are in serious mess.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. We have someone here. Good morning, and glad to have you join us on the program.
Yeah, this is Chinedu
Abakaliki.
Okay, Chinedu Abakaliki from where?
Abakaliki.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right, so I wanted to talk about this election, whatever, the rule they want to make. let's even assume, because I like coming from another perspective, let's even assume it is passed to law. And there is election day and I'm in my house watching football with any team. How would they enforce it? How do they know who is voting and who is not voting? I'm curious to know that. Let's even come from that angle. So what's the point wasting time on such law? How will you know in every corner of Nigeria? I'm in my room watching football on election day. How do you know I did not vote? I want to understand that part. Because for me, it's a waste of time and resources and waste of time and just going to the gallery as usual. We have other economic matters biting us, and the best they can think of now is just to be doing some irritating things. Which one is, why would you force me to vote on election? Because they know people have lost in election. Why would you
cast your vote?
What is there? The answer, my brother, before you go, the answer to that is that yes, if it is to know whether you vote or you did not vote, they can know that because there is electronic registration. There is electronic registration. They know the number of persons who are voters in Nigeria, and after the election, they know the number of persons that have voted and the number of persons that have not voted. And if they want to check through the time to go around directing people that did not vote. But you have your finger in the system that you can be traced through your picture. Through your picture, and from there they will know who and who did not vote. But that is not even the issue. The issue that I am tackling is that if you said those who refuse to vote should be prosecuted and jailed, what about you that have not motivated them to have that trust in you to come and vote by not giving them good governance?
What you are saying is what? No people. I said me. I'm sorry to say it. I will never vote again until I see changes. I think I can't keep saying
but then you never cancel. It's only your vote.
No. You said you will not vote again until you see changes.
I'm in Nigeria. I cannot keep voting when I vote. That person comes in. No, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's your civil rights.
And then for insecurity, before I go, for insecurity, before I go, this insecurity thing we've been talking about, I think government have been paying lip service to it every time. This one, the forest guy, all these things. Let's tell ourselves the truth. If it's going to be stamped out in Nigeria, government has to do better. Enough of all these Fulani headsmen, this, that. Sometimes it's not even the so-called Fulani headsmen. Sometimes it's people within the community, and they know who they are. If it's serious to stop it, it would have stopped by now. But I think it has become a political thing.
All right.
That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful day. Well, let me correct an impression here. For the fact that Nigeria isn't working, you will not vote. So if you don't vote the right person, how do they function? That's another question where you say you will not vote. So, well, let's leave it there. Good morning, and glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm back. I'm Anaiyst. That's
all right, please go ahead. You have 60 seconds. Please don't forget.
Yeah, your guest there was actually bringing out some issue that I'm so interested in it. You know, they said once election is conducted, they know how many people voted and know how many people did not vote.
Exactly.
And those people that did not vote, do they try to find out what is the reason why they did not vote?
Thank you.
And if they know the reason why they did not vote, do they tackle that issue before they do the issue of compulsory voting?
God bless you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sorry for using that word. It's nonsense.
God bless you. God bless you
for your contribution.
What he's saying now, like now, voter party. The legislators, they are...
Sorry to cut you short. Let me correct an impression before I forget. Please do mind your words. This is I would encourage you to be civil whenever you call on the show, because this is a national TV and it's a live program. So please, when you call, let's do the right thing and let's abide by the right thing. Before you take that, let me quickly take this one more call before we head on to the... Hello, good morning. If you can hear me, glad to have you join us on the program.
Okay, good morning. My name is Danny. I'm calling from Plateau.
Danny from Plateau, please go ahead.
Yes, I love why your presenter is contributing. The truth about it is that these people have made us lose interest.
Okay, I understand.
Because it's like every year, every time we go out to vote, the end of the day, they will promise us, and at the end of the day, they will not deliver what they say.
Okay.
So that is why many people today, they fail not to, they see there's no use to go out and vote. Since they know what they are doing within them, let them continue, because it's that all Nigeria are tired.
All right.
One, issue of security we don't have. They will be killing people left and right, and then the government will be there looking at it. They will say they're on top of the situation. But at the end of the day, these people will go free. And then there's nobody they ever bring to book. They say, okay, these are the people. They take this, they do this act. They arrested them.
Okay.
Always, we hear say we're on top of the situation. Nigeria are getting tired. And then they truly about it again, our tradition.
Hello, are you still
They
there?
have failed Nigeria entirely.
Okay.
Because it's that what he says, before any stranger will come into the town, the tradition will have, they will know.
Exactly.
But today, people will come in, people will go out, the way they choose, the way they feel like. So you see, these are some of the things that make Nigeria tired. And then they cannot force somebody that every year I will be going out to vote for you, and at the end of the day, and then you are not doing what I want. You are not doing what is making me happy, and then you want to make it a compulsory for me to go and do. It's wrong.
All right.
Let us be honest with ourselves. Let them try and do the needful, and then we see people coming out in massive.
All right.
To vote
Thank you
for
very
them.
much for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. All right. You were saying something before we move to the next topic, and do you have anything to contribute to what?
Like what the last caller said, the previous caller before this last person, he was talking about the issue of voter apathy, right? He talked about the voter apathy. Yes, voter apathy. Once you do the right thing, there's no how people will not be motivated to do the right thing on their own side.
But if you are going to, I have one. I'm just curious about something. If Nigerians are going to sit back and say we're not going to vote because our vote doesn't count.
It has never happened like that. Nigerians are going out to vote.
That's what
but the number of persons going out to vote is not encouraging compared to what they have in their record.
So how are we going to vote in the right people?
The issue here is that a nation that needs development, we have now identified that. Wait now. No, we have identified for the National Assembly to have come up with this bill now. They have identified a problem in that aspect, in that angle. Okay. If it is a problem, if there is a problem, how much have they voted into research for those in the research circle to carry out a thorough research, like the other caller from Nasarawa said. In a nation that put development, that put interest of the country at heart. Once a problem is identified, researchers go in to know why this happened. Okay, now they have been seen from 1999 voter apathy. After election, they will read out how many people voted and how many people did not vote. They know the number. And year in, year out, the number is increasing. They have not gone in to know why these lapses in this sector. Why are people not coming out to vote? And if they now know why people are not coming out to vote, has government done anything to implementing the report of that research done? The report of the research carried out in that angle. Have they done anything to change it? Okay. If they have done something to change it and there's no changes, why are there no changes? So we don't have, sincerely, we don't have people in government that follow up issues the way it should be done. Yes, the way it should be done. That is why even when we talk about project implementation, it's one thing to come up with a policy, but policy implementation is another thing too. Exactly. Policy implementation, during the implementation process, you should set up a team because that will monitor this implementation process. Because without implementation, the implementation process are not monitored. And even if they set up a team that will monitor, those teams that monitor don't even give better feedback to government for them to know why this is happening. You know, the issue of cash transfer. Cash transfer is a policy. A beautiful policy, social distancing policy. Okay, that policy, was there any committee set up to monitoring team that will monitor the cash transfer policy? Okay, if they monitor, what is the report of the team that monitor this policy? What was their report? Was there issue of say this money is not going down to the rightful people. That some politicians will just write the name of their aides and they receive the money. At the end, they put it to say it's the local people who are really poor that they have transferred this money to. Was there anything like that? So most of these policies that we have seen sometimes, and there is no possible better result coming out of it, and we are seeing where we are today. Is the fault of the government. To me, it's the fault of the government because they are not following the right thing. One thing is to formulate policy, another thing is to implement the policy. And if you implement the result of the implementation, you equally look at it as well. Exactly. Is it giving result? Is this thing giving result?
We have a long way to go. I understand. Good morning, I'm glad to have you join us.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Daniel calling from Taraba.
Okay, Daniel from Taraba, please go ahead. You have just 60 seconds.
Thank you very much. I like the topic in Nigeria. Because you have these people reading about condemn this thing and come and go buy them. But nobody asks them question. Who are those? They are pulling everywhere like ants. And nobody asks them, where is our immigration? Where is our custom? Where is our civil defense? Where is our police? Where is our military? Where is our navy? And air force? And so on and so forth. Where are they? Did they question them? Did they even ask one of them? Who are you? Where are you coming from? Which country are you from? If you ask them question, they will not even answer you. The some of them don't even hear English. So they are pulling everywhere with their clothes, asking people to bring something for them to buy. Will you wait to your clothes and fill all Nigeria and buy something from people? That's our question. Who are they? Will they ask them? Do they know where they are coming from? Pulling everywhere in Nigeria. Are they Nigerians? Are they wishing us well? As for food security, yes, how can we get food while our people are not farming, painting farm, and be comfortable in their farm? So how can we get food in Nigeria? Where are we going? As for voting system, these people that deny to vote, it is them that they complain a lot. Putting in social media, after they will ask, they will say that these people say social person is supposed to win, why they are not voting. Everybody should vote the right person. And they should also make law that if you can't perform well, it is just either death sentences, so that people should take precaution. Thank you very much. God bless every one of you.
Thank you very much for the contribution, and God bless you too.
Thank you.
Well, I love the point which the last caller has made. But so our time is fast spent, and before we sign out, I want you to talk to me, because I know you're, as a political affairs analyst, are you worried about the massive defection? And the Nigerians are worried if the nation is eventually going to turn to a one-party system. What do you make out of the massive defection from other political parties to the ruling All Progressive Congress?
I can say it's about poverty and the attitude of leaders that is already tinted towards self-serving.
Self-serving.
Yes, that is the issue, because most of these defectors, they are doing.
Are you worried?
Why will I not be worried?
Okay,
I am worried because what is happening is against democracy, democratic value.
Okay,
our democracy is in danger. It's in danger in the sense that the leaders, this elite, they are telling us to our face now that it's about them. It's about their interest, not about our interest, because these defectors, they are defecting not because of the hardship facing their people. They are defecting because they need position where they can get something to feed themselves and their family. Not defecting to say I want to go to this place so that I can be given position to take care of the masses who are suffering. No, defection is about self-serving. It's all about self-serving, and that is why now look at it. What is making some of these elected officials jumping to the ruling party? The ruling party opened a very beautiful window that is attractive to them. If you are an elected official now and you defect to the ruling party, it is clear that as you are coming, your ticket is guaranteed. That is one. Your ticket is guaranteed. In the other party where you are, either possibly it's a minority party, if you remain there and you have to go into election, first you spend money for primary to get your ticket, you will suffer, pay money, it's for your pocket. And if you jump into this ruling party now, that first phase of election, that is primary election, you have secured your money that you are not going to spend again. The ticket is there for you. You just do small thing to ensure you have the ticket. And if you have the ticket for general election, the ruling party sponsor their candidates. But the minority party, the opposition parties, it's you who is running the election that will cough out the fund. So these two phases now, they will secure, they will have service of what they have already looted, what they have acquired before. It will be there for them.
All right, thank you.
And instead of spending it, they will keep it to still keep serving themselves, not to use it to serve the people. Well, so it's all about self-serving that they are jumping into.
Obviously, but well, it's unfortunate that time is fast spent, and this is where we'll have to draw the curtain. But before we go, let me lend my voice to the two critical and most important issue we spoke about this morning, which is the lecturing thing. And I must say, it is your civil right, and you are expected to carry out your civil obligation, which is casting your vote. So we understand that most people have argued that do our vote really count. But for the fact that something is wrong does not mean it should continue being wrong. We all have to correct it. So please don't be part of those people that say our vote does not count. For that reason, we are not going to vote. You have to keep voting. Nigeria is the only country we have, like the former president will say, and we must make it work. Then, regarding the insecurity, please, security is everybody's business. When you notice something unusual in your community, in your area, kindly do well to report to the police or the authorities in charge. And this is where we'll have to leave it until we'll come your way some other time. Keep watching Kaftan Television. I will not forget to thank you, my powerful analyst. Thank you so much for being with me in the studio this morning. Keep watching Kaftan Television and have yourself a beautiful weekend. I am Missy Emelite. Bye for now.